Oh, and we're live as you're hugging the screen. Chasta and Huey here. How you doing, everybody? Happy Monday. Yes, we're back to it.
Yeah.
We're back at it Monday.
Happy, first Monday for the month of February.
Oh
Hallelujah.
my God, we made it. Was that the longest freaking month ever?
Yeah.
And I feel annoying saying that because literally everyone in every meme online by the time we hit the last couple of days of January was everyone felt the same way.
Which is weird because for most of my life, I've always been very vocal about how much I hate January.
Yeah.
But I felt like ever since I went vocal with you and we went on the air and on the podcast, all of a sudden, all these other memes started popping up about other people embracing their hate for January.
You started the thing. You're a trendsetter.
Exactly. I was like, whoa. I didn't know this. I never seen this before. So this is all brand new to me.
That's how I feel about Halloween. I have been the Prince of Darkness, Princess of Darkness my whole life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have pictures of me at T9C, 3, maybe 4, just absolutely beaming in my Charlie Brown outfits, my Lucy outfit from Charlie Brown. And now everybody is psychotic about Halloween. I feel like I started it. I feel like, we're trendsetters.
Look at you. All right. So you're all about Halloween. I'm all about hating on January.
I jumped on board with that real quick because I'm the same. We had a fantastic weekend. We got to hang out a little bit on Saturday night.
Which to me,
so
that
much fun.
That was a little overwhelming, little anxiety for me because well, first off, our boy, Scott Proctor, bassist extraordinaire of State Line Empire, it was his birthday at a birthday party.
Yes.
He also lives in Alameda, him and his wife, Michelle. And you hit me up, text me, we're doing a get-together at the Pinball Museum in Alameda. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was running late because I was watching part of the Royal Rumble.
Hashtag priorities.
Priorities.
Sorry, Scott, I know it's your birthday at all. The whole damn State Line Empire family is down there, and you're like, I'll be right there.
Come on, Scott. Book it later in the night. I got my priorities, things I'm interested in, I need to watch.
Yes.
But so I watched half of it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to come back
and paused
finish.
it just
I paused
for
it.
us.
I'll come back later.
So nice.
But yes, I walked into the Pinball Museum and seen, everyone, the State Line Empire family there. I'm like, whoa. Sensory overload, all of these people I love are in my hometown.
I know.
It's so rare, people come visit me in Alameda.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh
and
my God.
Everybody was there at one time.
Yes. I'm like, whoa, hey, hi, everybody.
As soon as you walked in, and you were late, so we were all kind of gathered there in the same area. So you walk in, and it was literally the mayor of Alameda showed up, and everyone's it was like a line of hugs. Hug, 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 hug. It was hilarious. Plus, you have the added fact that the Pinball Museum is very loud because there's a couple hundred pinballs, but ping pong, ping, ping, pong, 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 so loud. But it was so much fun. So thank you for being there. Thank you, Scott, for having the whole family out for your birthday. Happy birthday! It was so much fun, and that was Cody's first pinball experience.
Oh, really?
It was.
That was my first one in a long time.
That place is rad.
That place has been there forever, at least 15 years. I'm just throwing a guess out top of my head. But when it originally opened, it was just the one room when you walk in.
Oh, okay.
Because that used to be, my brother's going to kill me if I don't know this. Was that the record store? Yeah, it was the old record gallery. That's right. So that used to be a record store. And then they moved out, and actually another location, they got closed down. Anyway, it was just initially one room with all these old pinball machines.
Yeah.
And I went in there a couple times back in the day when it first opened. I'm like, oh, that's cool. All right, I played all the pinball machines. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I never went back since. And I had no idea it expanded to
There's 5 rooms.
5 rooms with different machines and different themes and different rooms and the decor, fresh paint and just cool colors in there and design. I was blown away. I was like, oh my God, I could come here more often.
It's really neat. It would make for a really cool date night.
Yes.
It's just a cool place to go. There are machines in the museum part that date back to the 50s.
Yeah.
I didn't play on those as much. I wasn't in that room, but the other ones I was playing, they were all from the 70s. The upkeep alone on all of those pinball machines must be unbelievable.
And it's cool. So you walk in, you play, you pay one flat price.
$22, I think it was, for unlimited.
For the day. So you can play for an hour, go across the street, grab a drink at the fireside, grab a burrito at the taqueria right there, come back, or just walk around Webster Street there. But come back in and play all day. And yeah, all the pinballs are technically free. You just, once you pay, you get that admission. So unlimited plays. But yeah, they had like the Metallica machine.
Yeah, AC/DC. Cody was tripping when he kept hitting the bell.
Yeah.
And it was bong. He thought that was the coolest thing.
Star Wars, Back to the Future.
Addams Family.
I mean, it was just so many
Indiana
different.
Jones.
Indiana Jones. I mean,
It was
just
neat.
so
I
great.
felt like I was on the set of Stranger Things. It was like such a throwback kind of feel. I loved it.
And it was cool, like up top, it had like the name and like a description of when it was made.
Right.
Like, so up top, so it really is a museum.
Yeah.
You can learn some stuff there besides having a good time playing all this stuff. And yeah, it was just trippy just seeing you guys all like in my hometown on Webster Street. So that's the cool thing about Alameda. We have like 2 downtowns. You have Webster Street, which back in the day when my dad was younger and the Navy base was open, that was the happening spot. That stretch of downtown road, all the sailors will get off at the Navy base and walk around, go to the bars. I live closer to Park Street, and that's like another long stretch of road that's like parallel to Webster Street, and that's another like downtown area, a lot of cool bars, restaurants. So I'm just lucky living on an island in Alameda. You got like these 2 downtowns, and to Alameda's credit, they really been trying to build up Webster Street over the last like 20 years. I feel like all the attention in the late 80s and 90s, early 2000s was going to Park Street.
Yeah.
So to have some cool stuff on Webster Street, I'm always for that.
I'm going to say something that might be a tad bit controversial, and I don't mean it that way. It was just an observation.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in the East Bay all that much, because we live over on the peninsula in Pacifica. And so when we go to the East Bay, it's typically at night, like going to like the Fox or something like the show.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was the middle of the day. We drove over there like 3:30. We're driving through like Oakland to get to the Tube.
Yep.
There's some.
Look at you saying the Tube.
I know.
Hey, how'd you know that term?
Because I was a traffic reporter.
That's a local term. Okay, sorry.
But it was interesting. We were going through like that part of Oakland, which is rough. Like,
yes,
it was sad to see.
Oh, I see it every day coming home.
I said that to Jay. I go, God, I feel bad that Huey, like, he drives through this every day. But once you go through the Tube and you pop out into Alameda, it's beautiful.
It's a
and
180.
Clean.
Yeah.
It is a total 180.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, that Tube and the fact that it's an island really does seem to, you tell me as the mayor of Alameda, seem to keep the riffraff and that kind of stuff on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, just geographically speaking, it would just be hard to get through the Tube. You know what I'm saying?
With all their stuff.
Yeah. Like,
no, I mean, there's some spots in Alameda, but no, it's nowhere near as bad as Oakland. I mean, that's the thing. It's like West Oakland has its spots. East Oakland has its spots. That's the joke is if you're coming to Oakland from out of town, don't go to somewhere that's related to West Oakland or East Oakland.
Oh, okay.
It's just both in bookmark ends of Oakland are not the best
Not the
there.
best, yeah.
But yeah, stay towards more downtown.
yeah, because when we're in downtown Oakland, I don't have that experience.
Or Piedmont, which is the more yuppie, nice area, or Montclair or Claremont.
Okay.
Those like the nicer areas of Oakland.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but the other thing too, I was just gonna say with the Pinball Museum, and I don't know about you, since I live in Alameda, I'm from Alameda, I never go there because I don't know about you, but I feel like when you're from a city that has like some known tourist spots,
1,000%.
you don't go there.
That's just the way.
So
it
that's
is.
why, like, for me, I think that was like maybe my 3rd time ever going to that pinball museum in its existence in Alameda, and I live there. But I think same for you. Like, you have Taco Bell in Pacifica.
We never go there.
You never go there.
Literally ever.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same thing with like if you're from San Francisco, the Bay. Like, how often do we go to Alcatraz?
I went once in
I've gone once.
4th grade. It was a 4th grade field trip.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. I don't know what that phenomenon is, but it is definitely a thing. Like, people from all over the world come to our little town in Pacifica to see the Taco Bell in the sand.
Yeah.
And I run by it like all the time, and I never even think twice about it. It's just part of it, I guess. But yeah, but your town is beautiful.
Thank you.
That street is popping.
It is.
It was very clean. There were a lot of people out and about. It was buzzing.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool spot. So not an ad, but if you're in Alameda and you're looking for something to do, especially for a date, I think it's a fun throwback date. Now, that's a perfect segue into throwback. We're going to get into Time Machine, and we're going to go back, not to Stranger Things times, not to the 80s, but we're going to go back to 2005.
Yeah, 2005.
Because Huey found an absolute treasure trove of archives of his life, both pictures, but also, better for us right now in this moment, audio of when he first got into radio. Little baby Huey.
Man.
This was before you were called Baby Huey.
I was called Danarchy.
Danarchy, everybody. He brought this up on Bone Breakers. Hold on. I'm going to let you talk in a minute. I'm going to let you have your moment in a minute. So on Saturday night, we were doing Bone Breakers, and he was talking about the fact that whenever he was in college on the college station, he went by, I just have to Google, I'm sorry, Danarchy, which is just the greatest thing ever. So now, whenever we play metal, if we play metal on Bone Breakers, whatever, or if we interview like metal artists, you have to go, you got to bring Danarchy back. I'm sorry, it's too good.
So maybe one day Nikki Black can take a night off from the Metal Zone.
And you can host Metal Zone as Danarchy.
Danarchy comes back.
I love it. I think that's freaking
Well, maybe I have to
great.
do it in this voice that you'll hear very soon.
Okay, we're dying to get into it. Real quick, I want to shout on the comments. Yeah. Jose, thanks so much for listening at work. We love you, brother.
I could bring this up on the screen. Let me do that.
Oh,
there you go. Look at that.
Oh, my God. What?
Yeah, look at that.
Dude, that's so right. Oh, our boy Eric is on. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Eric?
I rarely ever went to Taco Bell when I lived in Pacifica. I know, what is that? But yet, Michaela, my niece, who's also on, don't worry, I'm here. I knew you would be, baby. I knew. Her and I were texting right before we went live. And we will work out the Canva thing, darling. But whenever Michaela comes to town, I'll take her to Taco Bell.
Yeah, of course.
And Cody gets to go when Michaela comes to town.
And shout out to Eric. We'll see him this Saturday, Cliff Burton Day.
That's right. We can talk about that publicly.
Yeah. Jose will be there too as well.
Yes.
He's one of the people behind the scenes putting it on with Nick, our boy Nick. So it's this Saturday, I want to say 6 o'clock at the Chabot Theater in Castro Valley. Get your last minute tickets over at thechabot.com. So Cliff Burton Day. My buddy Nick from Zombie Holocaust fame. What's up, Nick? I found my copy of Zombie Holocaust's CD when I was like going through stuff.
Nice, when you got the treasure trove of
yes.
stuff.
So, him and his crew put together Cliff Burton Day. Cliff Burton, obviously the late great bassist from Metallica, and obviously passed away sadly back in 1986. So a few years ago, they started Cliff Burton Day like around his birthday, on his birthday, around his birthday. His birthday is February 10th.
Right.
So around that time, they like to celebrate the life and legacy of Cliff Burton, and they've.
I remember when they were rallying to make that a day.
Yeah, and then
cool.
This year it's going to be Saturday, February 8th at the Chabot Theater in Castro Valley. They're going to have family and friends of Cliff Burton on stage talking. They're going to have some of his old bandmates up there from his old bands before Metallica.
So cool.
There's going to be some live performances, and there's going to be an after party at the Valley Inn in Castro Valley, right down the street, like right across the street. So yeah, thechabot.com for your last minute tickets of Cliff Burton Day t-shirts, which is cool. It's a photo of Cliff Burton. So yeah, if you're a fan of Metallica, if you're a fan of Cliff Burton, you need to come out and just celebrate the life and legacy and the music and the genius that is Cliff Burton.
He did say there were only limited tickets left, like it was about to sell out. So I would get on that.
Yeah.
Actually, while you can. And we're all going to be out there. Nikki Black will be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Chris Relva, Danarchy in the Bay. Okay, with that being said, yes, Chris, you're right. Danarchy in the Bay. We all need to hear it. Are you guys ready to hear it? Because I am definitely ready. Okay, this was when you were on what was the station?
Okay, so you guys know I graduated from UC Berkeley. Yes, I am a Cal grad. And so when I went to junior college, I transferred in the summer of 2004 to UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
In that same summer, I applied for a radio job at a different company, did not get hired.
Bastards.
I was so disappointed. I was so bummed. It was a station I grew up listening to. I was so upset. So my fallback plan was to do college radio. So I started doing college radio, volunteering at CalX, 90.7 KALX in Berkeley, Cal Berkeley's college radio station. And you got to volunteer for some few months before you finally get on the air. So I finally got on the air, and you got to find your shifts. There's so many people trying to get airtime. So,
right. Yeah.
You just take advantage when you get some airtime.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have also what's called specialty shows, which is at nighttime. I think during just the week only. It was like at midnight, different themes, different genres. So they had a show there called At War with Heaven. It's like the metal hard rock show. It was every other Thursday at midnight. And so I started helping out hosting it. Shout out Keith. That was the guy who started the program. I don't know if he's still there, if that program still exists. But anyway, I was hosting, and that's where I came up with the name Danarchy.
Okay, very good. Okay.
So I just found a CD that was from here, I give the dates and the time, everything in this first break here.
Okay, so let's just dive right in.
Okay, so it's a little hot here. So this is back in 2005. I think what I did was I opened up my old Dell laptop that I was using for school, and you open up the stream, and I use Audacity just to record my breaks. That's like the only way. I thought it was like the quick and easy way to record. You can also record on a CD player back in the day, but I think I was using the stream at the time. So it's a little hot, but
You'll get the idea. I haven't heard it, by the way. That I'm going to be reacting in real time.
KALX Berkeley, 90.7 FM. This is At War with Heaven. My name is Danarchy. Thanks for tuning in. It's 12:16 a.m. on this very early Friday morning, October 14th, 2005. So that was the one and only Metallica with their classic song, For Whom the Bell Tolls, off their second album, Ride the Lightning. And then before that, had Slayer with Jesus Saves, off their album, Rain and Blood. And then to start off tonight, we had Iron Maiden, new wave British heavy metal, with their song Killers, off a new album to the Calyx Library called The Essential. It's like a greatest hits, the best of like Iron Maiden, all their top songs from like Run to the Hills, The Trooper, and much more. And also we got some of the best songs with the original singer, Paul Di'Anno. He's also a great vocalist, but
so he's also a great vocalist.
Which, first off, by the way, kudos to myself. I'm doing a metal show, and I'm coming out with bangers. I'm starting with Iron Maiden, Slayer, Metallica, the first three songs in my set. So that's
the choices are good, actually.
And that's the thing. In college radio, you had you pick out what you want. So, okay, when you're doing a regular shift, like a 3-4 hour shift, if I remember correctly, the rules for Calyx was you had to do at least 3 different genres per hour, and I think at least 1 or 2 new songs an hour.
So you had to really keep up with that library.
Yeah, because that Calyx library is legendary. There's some rare stuff in there, and they are very firm, like, do not steal.
Yeah.
The local record stores know if there's something that comes in there that says Calyx and 90.7, do not buy it. It was stolen from the library.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how involved the community is. Because there's some legendary stuff in there that no one else maybe has, or maybe out of print, whatever the case may be. That library is awesome. But yes, there was a section in there of new music. And in order for them to keep getting new music, they have to like play some new stuff.
Sure.
It was awesome. So yes, for me, listen, I'm like 20 years old. Like, this is October 2005. So I literally been at the bone for maybe 2 months at that point.
Yeah.
So I've only I was a promotions intern. I didn't really have much on-air experience at that point. It was like you're fighting for on-air time there with all the different students and volunteers there. And I remember one of my first times on the air, the guy that was on before me, and I'm paraphrasing here, he's like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to sound like a commercial DJ? And I was like,
see, I don't hear that. You told me that. I think this is actually not as bad as you painted the picture.
Well,
and I'm not just being nice.
Well, no, but compared to my counterparts at that time, listen, that's like kind of the running joke of college radio.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the students are like, hey.
Yeah, that's why I can't.
How's
I
it
typically
going?
Can't do it.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm so-and-so, and this is a new track from this band. Like, low energy. For me, I've always
public radios.
Yeah, trying to bring up my energy.
Yeah.
So even there, I mean, that's like 20-year-old me. That's more upbeat compared to like 95% of the staff there.
But I thought you still sounded laid back.
Yes, I tried to be.
Like you were trying to be conversational.
Okay.
And much more. That's my favorite part. And much more.
So let's see what else other segues I use.
of course, we love Bruce Dickinson. And of course, Iron Maiden's been in the media a lot lately with all the whole Ozfest controversy and Sharon Osbourne throwing eggs at them and all the side bands. But I'm sure you heard enough of that. But if you want to learn more about that, you can call me 642-KALX, 642-5259. This is At War with Heaven. It was good to be back on. Haven't done the last couple At War with Heaven episodes, I guess you could say. Big thanks again to Fine and Danny for holding those down while I was off. Just enjoying my time, getting used back to school. Man, it's already midterms next week for me.
Oh my God.
I need a time off because I'm midterm.
Midterms. Oh, you're such a baby.
This is my first semester at Cal.
All right, let's keep the flow of the show going. Got some more new metal from the Calyx Library. And I got some old punk that's very borderline metal-ish riffs, guitar riffs. But for right now, let's go with the new album from the Calyx Library by a band called Nuclear Assault.
Hell yeah.
From their album Third World Genocide, this is their song Exoskeletal right here on your Cal-X.
So that was first break.
So amazing. That was all one break.
That was just one break. So that was like nearly 2 minutes.
My program director heart is Well,
that's the thing with on college radio for Cal-X specifically. They only had 3 full-time employees, the GM, the program director, and the engineer. Everyone else, it's all volunteer-based. It's nonprofit. I think for Cal-X, though, in order to stay like sponsored by the school, 51% of the staff at any given time has to be students. The other 49% could be non-students. And believe me, there are people there who've been DJing for decades there.
Wow.
Just because it's a great hobby. They like to play music.
Like to do it,
Yeah, play music and volunteer in different departments. I started out doing the news departments. I was reading news stories.
That I would love to hear.
I see if I can find those.
I need to hear news Danarchy.
He's like, I think I was like, hi, this is Dan Delmore.
It
Danny
was Danarchy Burgundy.
Yes. But like, what was it? Like, I don't know, I guess it would have been President Bush at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just different stories. Did production there, did promotions, was pretty much just ticket giveaways. I forgot which venue I was working with to do ticket giveaways at the time. But it was just college radio was just a great opportunity to get your foot in the door and just kind of learn the bare basics of what is a radio station, how it functions, how to work with people, push buttons, edit, all that stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Talk on the fly.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, I have some questions for you. Did you script stuff or were you just kind of
that one
off the fly?
If I'm stalling, I think as I was reading the CD itself.
Oh.
So that was the thing. Cal-X, you played everything. They had turntables in there and carts.
Yeah.
So you were playing everything.
Oh, I hated carts.
And you listen for the song to get done, and you fire off the next song.
Right.
They had one computer in there that was playing like your you weren't running commercials since it's not profit, but it was like promos and stuff. Like once an hour you had to do like a promo or your legal IDs or something like that. And what was the other thing? When you go on there, they told you, make sure you thank the previous person on air. It's like something like etiquette stuff, which was I respected that.
Yeah.
And then like the rules about the genres, keep it fresh.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was playing whenever I was on. I was playing a lot of like more mainstream stuff because that's what I was just personally into. And I could find some deeper stuff and play that too. But I was always a fan of Metallica. This is proof. Like 20 years ago, I was playing Metallica on my college radio station.
That's so fun.
And then what else was there? It was just, I really do respect. It was just looking back on it, listening to that now. It's just such a fun time of my life, and I did find some photos of myself.
You gotta post those.
Yeah, so I could go when promoting this podcast. I could totally do that. Oh, and I can maybe. Let's see, maybe play another one here.
Play another one.
Okay.
It's Mayhem right here on At War with Heaven on your Cal-X. That was their song Death Crush off a very intense live LP back from 1998 called Mediolano M Capita Establishment. So those guys are very, I don't know how to describe it. Crazy might be a good word. They're a Norwegian black metal band, and I just heard many, many weird stories. Guys in the bands killing each other, trying to prove who's more tough and psychotic, and eating each other's skulls. And yes, I don't know all the details, but that's the gist of it.
GIF. You said that's the GIF of it.
I'm just trying to give some rock facts. Actually, I found this. Okay, so this is me back in 2005.
I can't even handle it.
This is in the news station.
Yes.
So that's reading the news.
That's news reporter Danarchy.
Yeah, right there.
Oh my God.
And then I believe this was my first time on the air. In the actual main studio, the music studio.
So cute.
Which, by the way, shout out, if you can see there, my personal Green Day t-shirt that I hand drew myself.
That is, you hand drew your shirt.
Yeah.
Was there a reason you hand drew your shirt?
Because I could never find a Green Day shirt in my size at that time. Like Hot Topic was right there on Telegraph, and I would go in there, didn't have Green Day shirts or any of my size. So I finally just bought a red shirt. I took the back of the Shenanigans album, and there's like a drawing of them. So I made a stencil on graphing paper.
Yeah.
And I drew it and then I cut it out and I laid it on top of the red shirt and I used a Sharpie to fill it in. So it was like using a Sharpie for screen printing.
Well, hey, you got inventive. That's resourceful. I'm impressed.
You see what else I said?
Yeah.
This is Danarchy, and then before that had Suicidal Tendencies Institutionalized off their self-titled album, and then out of the DC hardcore punk scene, we have Bad Brains with Eye Against Eye off the album with the same name, and then had Nuclear Assault with their song Exoskeletal off their latest efforts, Third World Genocide. Want to give me a call, 642-KALX, 642-5259 in the 510 area code. You want to make a request of a special metal or loud rock type song you want to hear.
Loud rock.
I got about another 26 minutes. And then Johnny Sweet and Agreeable will be coming on the air from 1 to 3:30 a.m. So keep it right here on your CalX. Big thanks again to Duncan for holding down the airwaves.
Duncan was a nice guy. I remember Duncan. He was a good guy.
From 9 to midnight.
See, you got to thank the previous person.
And if you always want to email me, KALXDAN@gmail.com. That's calixdan@gmail.com. Give me an email. And, all right, what else can we do for you? Let's just get back into music right now on your At War with Heaven. This is an straight out Oakland, California heavy metal band called Saviors off their 3-song EP called Worship. Here is the first track called Circle of Servants Bodies, right here on your CalX.
So, yes.
Oh my God. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. The first break was better than the second break.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I eventually I got to a point where it was like, okay, I can't handle trying to play everything off the turntables and get ready to talk. Eventually, I just got smart and I started just burning CDs at home, and I would just create like a playlist on my CD and bring it in and just let that play. And
That's
just go
great.
from one so I can be able to sit there and just go from one song to the next, and then
in between the songs, would you just pod yourself up and you would pause it?
Yeah, pause the CD player and talk and stuff. And I just remembered that time period. That's when I was going to UC Berkeley, and after class, I would go to Rasputin's or Amoeba, and I would just get lost in there, finding different music and discovering music and buy stuff. And I'm like, ooh, I could play this on my college radio show at a later point, going to local music shows. That's where I really had my love for supporting the local music scene started. Going to find music, get local bands, tell them, hey, I'll play you guys next week. And they would promote on MySpace. In the early days of Facebook. But yeah, it was just really an awesome experience of just falling in love, discovering music, playing it on the air, promoting new bands, and supporting the local music scene. Really, that's like...
So basically Bone Breakers and Soundwaves FM in 2005.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like used GeoCities. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And I made a website called Bay Area Punk Scene. And I would just take all my photos from different punk shows and create categories of different bands I saw.
Wow.
And it was like an online photo album for all these bands. So it was like my way of promoting these bands, giving them an outlet to feel like I was promoting these bands, local bands. And I made a collage. I don't know if I can find a throwback machine, Wayback Machine.
I was going to say, don't they have like a Wayback Machine? You could find it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was, it just hearing that, like that era, like I said, I was like 2 months at the Bone already as an intern, promotions intern. Just getting my feet wet, doing on-air stuff at CalX and, just practicing the radio thing of Danarchy.
That is so cool. Michaela said I should find my old ones from Oklahoma City. Michaela, I do have them. They're in the attic. The problem that I have, I'm going to date myself, they're on cassettes. Is there a cassette player behind you there, Huey?
I'm sure it'd probably be something on Amazon or something like a converter.
I mean, there might be. I have a cassette player at my house that I've just kept. That's a lie. I didn't keep it. I rebought it because I wanted to hear some stuff. Yeah. That's what it was. But I don't know how to play it on the air unless I literally like hold it up to this because I don't know if there's a plug-in. We'll have to ask Andrew about that. I'm sure in all of his crap he has to do, he has time for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you would be amazed by mine is how country I sound.
Really?
Because I had such a thick accent.
Can you do it right now?
Oh, yeah. So I was on a country I was on many stations, but the country station would have probably drawn out the country a little bit more. Cable 104.9. Hey, y'all, it's Chasta here on Cable 104.9. Like, it was like fresh off a turnip truck.
Okay, set up going into a Beyonce country song.
Yes. Now Beyonce is a country album of the year, actually.
I know, and she looked shocked. Like
she did look shocked. She was as shocked as everyone else on Facebook today, it seems. Who wants to bitch about that, because that's our biggest problem.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
my chair keeps falling.
I know.
What's wrong with
There's
this?
2 other chairs over here if you want to mix it up a little bit. I could just toss one over the board to you. All right, so I will look for mine so we can do a little compare and contrast.
I'll see if I can find some more CDR somewhere of that like Danarchy era of college radio.
I love Nikki Black's Metal Zone, but I have a feeling either she needs to take a night off and you can fill in, or we could do a metal segment of Bone Breakers hosted by Danarchy. I just think it needs to happen. Yeah,
like
exactly.
I transfer into different time.
But I feel like Danarchy has a very specific wardrobe. I feel like you need some sort of
I mean, back then I was wearing band shirts and like Dickie pants and Dickie shorts.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And Vans or Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I wear now. It's just,
But I almost feel like Danarchy needs a little bit more of a Rob Halford-esque situation. He needs
I
some
remember
sort of
one
choker.
time my brother, he remembers, he was there with me. So my brother Tommy and my best friend Sean, they would hang out with me in the studio while I was doing the show, and they would pick stuff out and want to play it.
I got in trouble for doing that one.
So it was one time someone called in and threatened to kill me.
What?
I forgot why. Tommy might know the full story. He remembers better. But yeah, he was I think it was trying to request something or wanted something. I said I couldn't do it. I can't remember exactly, but he's like, I'm going to kill you, man.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? Shut up. I forgot. I was like, someone was like, leave me alone. And it's like, I'm going to come find you. I know where the studio is. I'm going to kill you. And I remember my brother and I left, and we were because I parked right outside. And we were walking, looking around the whole time while we get to the car. Hopefully there's no psycho out here.
Seriously, that's terrifying. That happens from time to time for sure. I got threats because my first full-time day on the Cat, which is still very much around and a huge juggernaut station in Oklahoma City, was the same day that it was announced that Lane Staley died. And so I had to go on the air and say that he died. And people didn't know who I was. So they thought, who's this bitch?
A prank or something?
Yeah, and of course that's, before the time of social media and all of that. And your news just moved a lot slower. So they were actually getting that news from me. Meanwhile, I was A, nervous as shit to be on the air, and B, absolutely head over heels in love with Lane Staley. So I was, oh my God, you're going to have to stand up.
I'm not trying to distract you.
So I can pull another chair over there for you. So I was devastated by the death of Lane Staley and then terrified to have to go on the radio and announce it to the world. And people were calling up and they were screaming at me like I was lying. It was awful. Awful. Yeah, we could do war stories in radio all day long. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
That was very well done.
There's more here, and I could probably find more elsewhere.
I'm sure.
The best of the best.
Yeah, the best of the best, we'll call it. Every time I turn on my car on the Cat and the Cat comes on, well, that makes me happy. That is a Cumulus station, Michaela, so you're still supporting the mothership, if you will. Hearing Danarchy is too sweet.
Oh,
Alex,
yeah,
how you doing, Alex? Cheers to you, buddy. Yes. I know, it is really, really,
Chris,
really freaking cute.
Danarchy origin story.
Yeah, I didn't have a cool nickname. I've just always used my real name. I wish I had a Danarchy.
I do want to shout out, because I remember, I think I put it on MySpace, hey, I'm about to start DJing on Calex. I need a name. And it was the drummer for Death Toll who responded. Remember on MySpace, you could what was that section called? It was
still floating down. I don't mind sitting. Take my chair. I mean, standing there.
Well, now it's the webcam or.
Here you go. Hold, please. We're coming right back. There we go. I can do the splits. There we go. I'm doing a little split stretch, a little split yogi stretch.
Watch ice fall down too.
I know. Right?
No, it was on MySpace. I put it out there like a post. Back in the day, whatever that was called. And he left a comment. He's like, go by Danarchy. So it was him.
Wise fella.
Yeah. God, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. But the old drummer of Death Toll, another great local band who I do play on this show.
That you were supporting. Yeah. That's freaking rad.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're all about Huey on this episode as well, because we've got some Huey helps. Actually, we have a few, so we'll probably just do one, and then we can save the others for the next episode. Do we actually have our sounder this week? Oh,
I do.
Great, perfect.
It's with the Danarchy on.
Okay, I love it.
All right, ready?
Yep.
If you've got trouble, we've got the cure for what ails ya.
The Bay Area's bestie, Huey, is here with advice.
It's Huey Help.
I love this thing. And now I can dance since I'm standing up. I'm like half sitting. This is a thigh workout.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. All right. So this is an interesting one because I kind of sort of have dealt with this, and this is like a hot topic in Pacifica right now. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is a good one. So Brant says, my neighbor, my neighbor parked his car in front of my house in November.
Okay.
And it hasn't moved since then. Mm-hmm. I said something to him about it around Christmas time when we were having family over and would have liked our guests to park there, and he told me it's broken down. So the city has a rule against parking inoperable vehicles on the road. Should I say something to him again, or do I just call the city like a Karen and complain about it that way?
Call the city.
You think call the city?
Hands down.
Yeah.
So I've been in that same situation. It was last year. So in our neighborhood in Alameda, there was this car that literally was parked outside of our house, I think for 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. It really was a long time.
Wow.
And at first it was like, okay, maybe a week or two. It's like one thing. And then we noticed that car has not moved.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if my brother or my dad talked to one of the other neighbors and they said, oh, that person's up in Reno right now.
Oh.
I thought I heard something. Yeah, it's like they're up in Reno. It's like, wait, so why do you leave your car on the street like that? So I'm with you. So I've been in the same situation. It is so effing annoying that you park in front, this is in front of our house. This is our one spot.
It's your spot.
In our house. I mean, it's like...
it's a public street, but it's like an unspoken rule.
Yes, exactly.
Our house and our yard runs into that piece of concrete. Therefore, that's kind of our parking.
Yes. So because we have 3 cars, so it's we park in the driveway, park on the street, and then somewhere else on the street or behind or something like that. Yeah. So this car was taking our one spot and it was not moving. I was like, what's the deal here?
Yeah.
And finally, just one day, the car just disappeared or moved. And I was like, oh my God, they're back in town, these people. And I remember we called, I got annoyed. I was like, I'm going to call the city. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to give
3 months is, you gave them a while.
Yeah. So we called the non-emergency line to the police department.
The Karen complaint line.
Yes, exactly. The Huey complaint line.
Yeah, exactly.
So I called it and just left a message there. And I don't think they came out right away. I took photos for proof. And I think, was it my brother? My brother might know better, but I think we finally saw a cop on the street and we're like, hey, this car is not moving. I think they finally tagged it because that's the thing. I think the rule is if a car hasn't moved in 3 days, you can call in on it.
I just looked it up.
Okay.
Well, at least in Pacifica. Let me see if Alameda's the same way. But on Pacifica, the cityofpacifica.org, it says an abandoned vehicle is one that has been left on a city street for more than 72 hours, so 3 days, without moving more than 1/10 of a mile.
Yep.
Or is otherwise inoperable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't even just stay parked in the same spot. Even if it's operable, you can't stay parked for 3 days or more.
So that's the thing. It's if you see a car that's parked more than 3 days, you can call in on it. And then I think they tag it. They put a little note on it.
That's also in the case in Alameda.
Yeah. So they put an orange sticker on the windshield. And I think that's just the market. And then if they come back in a day or two and they notice the car still has not moved, then they know, okay, we already we marked this car once. That they want to give them the benefit of the doubt. This is your warning, move your car. But if they come back and the car's still there and there's a sticker on it, it's okay, then I think they have the right to tow it or something.
Yeah. I mean, look, 3 months is a really long time. And he's saying November. So, he's going on 4 months at this point. This is a big deal in Pacifica because there's a lot of RV parking.
Yeah.
People just rolling up in front of your house in an RV and parking there for days, weeks on end.
Wow.
Yeah, that became a big deal. In fact, it still kind of is in certain parts of the city. So instead of going to an RV park, they're just you look out your window and all you can see is an RV.
Yeah.
That happened to another person on our street. And I understand, that's frustrating.
Also, so I'm with you. If your neighbor's doing that, obviously they don't care about their other neighbors. They're being a dick at that point, and it's just really annoying. So I have no problem calling in and snitching on them or calling it because, get out of my effing spot. I have another pet peeve kind of similar to it is terrible parkers or non-courteous parkers.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's you have a stretch of sidewalk and there's a stretch of sidewalk right outside of our house beyond our spot past the next driveway. If everyone parks correctly, you could easily park 4 cars there.
Yeah.
But I hate when someone parks and there's not enough room to park behind or in front of it.
Yep.
So sometimes you only can get like 3 cars or 2 cars. It becomes like, you damn a-hole, back your car up or park your car to the very end of the parking, the sidewalk or to the block where the white line is. Park to the end there. And that way all the cars can fall in line properly afterwards, or park at the end of the beginning of the block. And so that way there's enough room for 4 cars to park there.
Or you're going to get a visit from Danarchy.
I know.
Damn it.
It's like the Hulk. I go from Huey to Danarchy.
Exactly. I just Googled, is there a male equivalent of the name Karen? Because I legitimately didn't know. It said no. However, some names that have been suggested include Terry, Greg, Ken, and Keith. That's so random. I have no idea why. We're going to add Danny in there as well, just for good measure. Yeah, no, I actually agree with you. You know, look, my heart goes out to people that have like a car that's broken down and they're like, WTF? Because the level of adulting involved with getting rid of a car like that is super duper annoying. Yeah. But you could always call Cars for Kids. I do know that because Nikki Black tells us that all the time. But it's just, it's annoying.
It's annoying just not being courteous.
It's a Chad. I have heard that, Michaela. It's a Chad.
That's what's annoying. It's like you're not being courteous of your surroundings. It's like, listen, parking is limited in most cities now, especially in my neighborhood.
Especially the Bay Area.
My neighborhood in Alameda, a lot of the old school Victorian houses, normally back in the day, it was just one family. A lot of them have been turned into duplexes, triplexes. So there's multiple families living in one house. So each of them, let's say they all just have one car. That's 3 cars now on the street that's trying to find parking.
Right.
So please just be courteous of your neighbors. Park better so that way you can fit as many cars in the neighborhood as you can. And it's just, like I said, it's annoying. Like I have one neighbor right now. I could send you a photo later today, unless they move, how he parked. He left literally like 5 feet behind him. It's not enough to park another car there, but it's just enough where it's like, dude, you could have backed up 5 feet and there'd been more room in front for another car to park.
Don't be a dick.
I see. I was like, I wanted to write a note. Be like, hey, douchebag, park better.
That's funny. You'd be very proud of me. On Saturday morning, we went to SF MoMA to the museum. And I parked. It's, it's in one of those parking garages that's like super tight. And we were in my Jeep and I just pulled in and I was like, everybody hops out. We got all our crap, our jackets, it's raining, all that stuff. And I look back at my car and I'm like, I parked like shit.
Okay.
And so I'm like, all right, boys, you go over by the elevator. I'm going to go back and repark. And I did. Yes. I went back. I squeezed my little butt in and I reparked because I didn't want to be that person. That's called being considerate.
I've done that too. I've done where I parked. I'm like, oh, I'm over the line, or I'm like, oh, I should move over a little bit. That way the person, when they come back to their car, they have a little more room to open the door.
To get in.
So I have readjusted my car because I'm a good person like that.
Exactly.
I'm like douchebag neighbors who don't know how to park correctly and courteous of their other neighbors who can fit the maximum amount of 4 cars in this stretch on the neighborhood block there.
This is getting really awkward if any of your neighbors from Alameda are watching this right now.
I don't care. F you.
Oh, by the way, this reminds me, I got loads of messages. I think it was from the last episode where you went off about something.
Yeah.
And they're like, I love Huey going off. Like, you're usually like warm and fuzzy, cuddly Huey that doesn't like rant and rave. So this Danarchy side of you, I'm really digging.
It's my Hulk form.
It is.
It's actually funny. So shout out to our friend Paulie Mack, him and Creative Tony. They have a podcast.
Yes.
Paulie's Particles. That's their daily podcast that they do. And I was in the chat saying hi. And Paulie went on this. He saw me and he started just talking about me. He's like, Huey, Daddy, he's a huge guy. Nice guy. He's a giant. He's super nice. I would hate to be around him if he got mad one day.
Yeah, well, here it is. So Park like shit in front of him and see what happens. F around and find out.
I really want to stand outside and tell the guy, because he lives in he lives in the back of a house where the garage got turned into an apartment.
Now we're getting specific.
And literally, so the side of his house is part of our yard. Oh. I could like bang on his wall, technically. So it was a Saturday night. I picked up my brother Tommy. We came home. Him and a lady were walking in. And so Tommy and I are sitting in the car watching him.
Oh, my God.
Like, look, he's bringing a girl home. And then she went inside. And we saw him run back to his car, and I told my brother, "Oh, he's getting condoms."
I was just going to say that he went back to go get the condoms.
Went to get the condoms out of the car.
Did he run to the car with no pants on?
No, but literally he went in, turned the car or the lights on, and then shut the car and went back inside.
Exactly.
He went to get condoms for her.
Yep, that were in his glove compartment.
But then I was gonna be like, "Oh man!" And then I stood by the fence.
Dude, you're a creeper neighbor now. Now
And
he's got beef with you.
I told my brother, I was like, look, I can hear them talking right now. I should yell, move your fucking car. Cock block him, say, move your fucking car right now, douchebag. Or I was going to wait out there in my ear. I was going to bang on the wall.
Oh my God, please make this the social media clip. Danarchy is off the rails.
See, I'll send you a private video of what I'm talking about.
I don't want you to video the guy.
No, but just the setup that I'm talking about in front of my house.
Okay.
So you could get a better painted picture of what I'm doing.
That's fair enough. I don't want to see any, I don't want any of that. Don't be a weird creeper.
I could be like Wilson on, was it Wilson on Home Improvement?
Yes.
Where you lean over the fence?
You just see eyes, just the eyes. That's all you ever get. Huey eyes. Huey's judgy eyes at you. Oh, my God. Well, this was a treasure. Thank you so much for bringing in your air checks from
You're
20
welcome.
years ago.
I can't
You
believe
did good, kid. You've come a long way.
Thank you. I like to think I've learned a lot from many great radio people
You have.
here at the station. So thank you to all of them for your help.
For all raising you up right. Raising Danarchy, a.k.a. Baby Huey upright. I feel like Danarchy needs a cape of some sort. Like, I feel like this
It's a superhero.
I feel like this is going to be your Halloween costume for this year. Like, we need a Danarchy, costume contest of some. We're going to make it happen.
Okay. We got what? What's October?
We got a little
8
bit
months.
of time.
Yeah, we got 8 months.
Yeah, I have a little counter on my. I don't even know where my phone is. I have a little counter on my. By the way, I do have my blanket here. I was freezing, so I've got my little skull blanket here. Yeah, I usually have a counter on my phone that tells me how many days until Halloween. Your resident Morticia. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us. If you want to email us, feel free. Chasta and Huey at gmail.com.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Watch our videos. We've been doing the live broadcast and then posting clips there. So watch all of them, share them, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment.
Yes.
And follow us on social at Chasta and Huey, Facebook, X, and Instagram. But Instagram's number one.
I was going to say, when you said X, I was like, no.
I know. I refuse to pay for X.
Oh, man. I would be so bummed if I drove a Tesla right now. Thank you guys in the comments for commenting along.
Is there anyone else we want to shout out?
We love you so much.
Let's see, Alex. Hearing Danarchy's too sweet.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, that's an earlier one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Michaela, I'll be
Chad.
texting you in a minute about Canva. I got to get that fixed. I'll just bring my personal life onto the pod. I'm trying to make a monthly reset. I just posted my monthly reset episode of Rock Your Life.
Yes.
So I'm working on the monthly reset page, like a little printable, so you can just do it yourself. And I'm
Okay.
almost there, but I can't. Michaela's really good at Canva. Do you ever use Canva?
Is that an app for photo editing?
Designs, yeah.
See, I need to do, another thing with this podcast, we need thumbnails for each episode now.
I know, exactly.
There's so much work,
I know.
fucking work to do a podcast. I mean, seriously,
this is my point. I know.
Seriously, just prepping for a podcast, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Doing the actual podcast.
Yep.
And then editing, posting stuff. That's another thing, doing the social media for it. You know, the thumbnail. I mean, there's so many fucking layers to do a podcast.
Exactly.
So
Who
much
has the
damn
time?
work. I know.
This is why you need a Michaela in your life. She does so much of this for me. I'm like, hey, babe, can you help me with this? She's like, yes, I'm on it. Give me 5 minutes and I got you. Thank you, babe. I love you. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We have so much fun with you, and we'll see you next week.
And come see us this Saturday at the Chabot Theater in Castro Valley for Cliff Burton Day.
Yeah, we came full circle.
You got proof I was playing Metallica 20 plus years ago.
That's right, damn it. All right, we love you guys.
Bye.
See you later.